Hey guys, AirTS here, Air for short. I'm going to make a video today on the light Sylph. It is the current Hall of Heroes monster, and a lot of people are going for this monster, so I'm sure you want to know what kind of runes to give him. Now as you can see, he's an HP type, so his HP will be fairly good. And his skills, if we take a look, Spirit Throw throws a small spirit at the enemy and increases your critical rate by 30% at next turn if you get a critical hit. So you could increase his critical rate a little bit, then if he gets a critical hit using this, it'll give him a critical rate bonus of 30% in using any other skill after that. His Cyclone here attacks all enemies with a Cyclone 2 times. Each attack has a 40% chance of increasing the enemy's chance of landing a glancing hit for 2 turns. So it'll hit twice, and both times has a 40% chance of landing a glancing hit, which is great. 40 is pretty close to 50%, so it's almost a 50-50. It's just against you in odds, but glancing hits are really great. And then we've got Double Cyclone. Attacks all enemies with a Cyclone 4 times. Each attack has a 10% chance to stun the enemy. So each of the 4 times, you'll have a 10% chance of stunning. So if it doesn't work on the first one, or the second, or the third, it could happen on the 4th. 10% is not very high, but it is still a chance. So my first thoughts with this monster are Despair runes. Mostly because of this Double Cyclone skill, 10% is not very high. I would want to increase that. So if you give him Despair runes, it gives him a 30% chance of stunning on any of his attacks. So for Double Cyclone, what this means is the first of the 4 times, it would increase to a 40% chance to stun the enemy. The 3 consecutive times it hits, it'll go down to a 10% for each, because Despair only works on the very first hit. And then this skill, Cyclone, it'll add a 30% chance of stunning on top of the 40% chance of landing a glancing hit, but only for the first of the 2 times it hits. And then obviously the 30% chance of stunning will apply to Spirit Throw. Now if you go Despair, I would go Despair and Focus runes with accuracy on slot 2. Slot 6. However, if you do have a lot of runes with some accuracy substats, like really good accuracy substats, you could swap out the Focus runes for 2 energy runes and give him an HP buff. Mostly because he's an HP monster, his HP is going to be high, so if you give him a percentage of HP buff, it'll probably do a lot better than giving him something like Guard runes for defense. So yeah, you could go Despair and Focus, or Despair and Energy. Also, if you take a note here, once you awaken him, it increases his accuracy by 25%, so that's really great. He's clearly designed for debuffing, which is why I lean towards the Despair runes. You could also ignore the fact that he debuffs and use it kind of like as a secondary bonus. You could give him some Fatal runes with Blade or Fatal Focus runes just to go for the attack power. I mean, these two skills here attack all enemies, so you could potentially do quite a bit of damage. He is an HP monster. He's not designed for doing a lot of damage. However, he's a 4-star and he's a Sylph, and they tend to be fairly strong hitters. So you could go the Fatal route, or you could do Rage and Blade. If you do Rage and Blade, I would go crit rate on slot 4 for sure. Now, but let's talk about his slot 2 and 4 and 6 runes. Even if you use Despair or Fatal or Rage, I would make sure that his slot 2 is Speed, especially with the Despair, mostly because he's not going to stun. He's not going to debuff at all if he gets killed first. So give him Speed in slot 2 so that he at least hits first. And then in slot 4, you could give him either HP percent or attack percentage. They tend to be a little squishy, so HP if you only want to rely on his debuffs, and attack percentage if you want to get a little bonus damage in there. And then on slot 6, I highly recommend accuracy. He does get the 25% bonus, so that's really nice. You don't have to work as hard to get up to 100% accuracy, even though 100% accuracy is useless. As high as you really need to get is 85%. I made a video about the relationship between accuracy and resistance. If you want to know why that is, you can feel free to watch that. But anyways, you only really need to get up to 85% accuracy. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Despair Focus or Despair Energy with Speed on slot 2, Attack Percentage or HP Percentage on slot 4, and then Accuracy on slot 6. Leave any other ideas, other rune ideas in the comment section below. I'd love to know what you guys do if you find something that works really well for you, and other viewers would love to know too. So yeah, hopefully this has been helpful for you guys, and peace.